Searchlight, Nevada is just a little blip on a map, and it would be easy to drive straight through it on Highway 95 and never stop. However, that would be a mistake, because Searchlight has quite a bit of interesting history, even though it is a mining town in the middle of the desert like so many others around this area. It actually, at one point, was bigger than Las Vegas and almost became the county seat of Clark County, which Las Vegas is in. So join me as we take a look at the history of Searchlight and see what's here today, which honestly isn't much. At one point, Searchlight was bigger than Las Vegas, which is only about an hour north of here. It was one of the most booming places in southern Nevada in the early 1900s, before Clark County had split apart from Lincoln County. It was nearly the county seat because of all that was going on here when the county was formed. In 1897, a gold strike sparked this little town into existence, outgrowing Pioche by 1902 to become the most happening city in the area. At this time, Las Vegas was basically still just a tent city and didn't have much of a population. By 1907, the mines in Searchlight had produced millions of dollars of ore, and its population was surging past 5,000 people, big numbers for a Nevada town in those days. A rail line connecting Searchlight to Barnwell, California would be established that same year. However, the glimmer of Searchlight's glory days wouldn't last for very long. By 1910, high-grade ore had mostly been depleted, bringing the mining industry in the area to a much slower pace. By 1927, only 50 residents remained in Searchlight, which seems to be the standard story of how most of these mining towns went. A big boom in population, wealth, and commerce, followed by an almost overnight mass exodus out of town, whenever the mining profits dried up. This left the area's income to be basically a highway stop, rather than a major mining town anymore. To some extent, this is still true today, as most of the commerce in town is built up along the highway, relying on through traffic to stop along their journey and spend their money here, getting gas, lodging, and food on their way to wherever they are going. Through the 1930s and 40s, there was a resurgence for the town as the building of the Hoover Dam brought in more traffic to the area. A few mines were started back up during this area, but were short-lived as ore ran out. Casinos have been present in Searchlight since the El Rey Club in Bordello was built in 1946. By 1953, the last of the mines had shut down. The town supposedly got its unique name from a brand of wooden matches. Aside from one of the wooden boxes these matches were delivered in can be seen in the Searchlight Museum. Another story about how the town got its name is that a prospector is rumored to have said that it would take a searchlight to find gold ore in this area. The town's name is featured in a ragtime hit by famed composer Scott Joplin, the Searchlight Rag, named such because he had friends with mining claims in the area. There have been a few notable names that have association with Searchlight, including silent movie star Clara, who is talked about in more depth in our video about nearby Nipton, California. Movie costume designer Edith Head, who spent some of her childhood here, and U.S. Senator Harry Reid, who was born here. William Nellis, an aviator for whom Nellis Air Force Base is named, also lived here during his teenage years. Today, Searchlight has over 400 people living here with a median family income of less than $30,000. Many homes appear to be in really sad shape, including many mobile homes. However, there are equally as many that look like fancy, newly constructed homes too. The town has its own elementary school with students bused to other towns for the secondary grade levels. There is a public library in town with a small town museum on site that happened to be closed the day I was there, which is the story of my life, it seems. However, there was a little outdoor walking path by the library that featured some cool items related to the mining history of the area. A nice little park provides some much-needed green space in the middle of town with sports fields and a playground for kids. The area has become somewhat of a retiree community, which provides it with a steady income and population, although that may not be a sustainable way to keep Searchlight's population numbers up permanently. While the town doesn't look very much now like it did back in its mining days, the town is hanging in there with enough restaurants, lodging, and gas stations to service the increasing traffic on the highway running through town. While this town may not be a town that I personally enjoyed a whole lot, I'm sure that it is dear to those that call it home. We'll see you next time somewhere else down the road.